Okay, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be like my setup, like my filming area, because I can see myself from the mirror behind you. So that's great. So today I wanted to talk about this book. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually, because I don't know, I found it complicated. The first time I tried to film it, me talking about this book, it was hard. So I wrote down something to guide me. I'll probably, oh my god, read it all. This book is called, it is from Osamu Dazai. He is a Japanese author, writer. This book is about a man who lives in a situation of extreme solitude and he feels rejected from society, and he, in my opinion, was actually really scared of society and of other people. He feels like he feels like an outsider that is watching people living their lives from the outside. While reading this book, he felt like he was an alien who was sent to Earth to study humans and to observe humans, but he was forcibly sent here. He genuinely felt like he was watching people from the outside and observing them and judging them, basically, because by just telling you that he was an outsider and very lonely, I feel sorry for him. But while reading this book, I did not feel sorry for him. I mean, sometimes yes, but like half of the times he was really, if I remember correctly, because it's been like a month and my memory is not that good, but he was really judgy of other people, and especially women. God, this is why I hate him. I hate the main character. I feel sorry for him at times because, okay, I can feel his loneliness that hits home, but he was extremely sexist. Oh, and this book was set in 1940, around that time. This was published in 1948. It's set in a little before, kind of. So I get why he's sexist, especially in Japan. They're not better than us when it comes to that, to sexism and stuff like that. So I get why he is sexist, but I hate you, of course. This book was written about a real person by a real human being. So again, I get why, but I do not care. I'm going to judge you and hate you for being sexist, because that's personality trait. To cover up this fear, he basically puts on this mask. He literally one day decides to start being the clown of the family, of the class clown, and he puts on this mask basically to cover up his fear of other people. I don't remember him ever saying that he was scared of other people, but that's what I get. In my opinion, he was so anxious about interacting with other people that he kind of put a wall between himself and other people. Or maybe it was the other way around. He felt this wall between him and other people, and then he became anxious. Or maybe a mix. He has never said, and this I'm pretty sure about, he has never said that he was anxious about being around other people, but that's what I got. That was my feeling. We basically follow him growing up. Like, he goes back with memory and tells us about his childhood, about his teenage years, and you know, when he starts going to college. I don't remember if he goes to college or university, but whatever. So we follow him also into his first years of adulthood. During high school, he meets this person, this friend, and I felt like he was the only person that he ever connected with, but like for real. He also has a wife. Once he grows older, he marries this girl, by the way, a minor, but whatever. No, maybe they married when she was 18 and he was like, I don't know, 25, something, maybe younger, but they met when she was 17. So he marries this girl, and I don't think he ever actually loved her. That's my opinion, I guess, because I don't know, he did not have the best opinion about girls. Basically, he says multiple times that girls are not interesting. All they can do is whine about irrelevant and shallow things, and they're annoying, that they have no thoughts, no important thoughts. I think it really reflects the way men, society in general, also women, because we all have internalized misogyny. I think the way he sees women is the way society sees women. It felt like to him women were made just to nourish them. Like he can, I don't know if I remember correctly. What? Correct. Oh my god. Correctly. Oh, why is my mouth skipping a letter? Correctly. I don't know if I can remember correctly, but it seems like he only sees women when they care for him. It feels like he thinks that women are made to nourish men. There's a passage where he's talking about his mom and sisters, and he appreciates them, if I remember correctly, because they have always cared for him. That's it. It's like men and him don't think that they can have an actual meaningful relationship with women because they don't view women as someone they could do that with, someone with actual deep feelings, or at least with feelings that matter. They think, oh, it's women who are feeling these emotions, so these emotions are not relevant. It's women who are having these thoughts, so they're not relevant. He does have, like I said before, in high school, he does have a meaningful relationship with a friend, a boy, and I don't think it's just a coincidence that he only has deeper relationships with men. I think that just reflects the way society wants men and women to act. You know, heterosexual men love men but are attracted to women. That's the sentence that really explains and summarizes this man view of women. He had opportunities to really build that kind of deep, meaningful relationship with women multiple times. He just didn't. And one could argue that at some point he did have that kind of relationship. Because he says when he meets this woman, he starts feeling like really comfortable, but then he doesn't remember her name. I don't know, every time a girl tried to, and I'm not saying that he was forced to hang out with girls, I'm just saying that this shows the view that he had about women. But every time a girl tried to show just pure interest, you know, even just like a friendship, he just found them annoying, and that makes him annoying and weird. But I also feel like his personality and his view about people in general played a role in that. He was really cynical about everyone, even the male friends that he had. I feel like besides the high school friend, I feel like he didn't actually like anyone else. Like, I think it's because this friend was like the only person ever to actually be able to see his real person, and probably the only one. So I guess a lot of things play into his persona. If you like character-driven books, you might like this one. He's definitely a flawed person, because again, he's a real person. If you want to read about a real person that feels like a real person, read this book. The only part that I really didn't like about him was that he was sexist. If he hated everybody the same way, I would have liked him. Maybe I would have been neutral about him, but since he has this view on women, I don't like him. I know I can't. I cannot stand people who don't respect other people because of these kind of reasons. There's also this major thing that happens to his wife, and this is definitely the environment and the time, the age that he was born in, but he makes it about himself. God, that was also, while reading, the feeling that I was getting from him is that he was born doomed to be an outsider, an outcast. Like he was born tormented, and it's so weird. Probably just a mix of his own personality, environment, anxiety, whatever. And I don't know if, like, the way he was talking, he really felt doomed and cursed to live in this like bubble that he could not pop to reach other people. If you take his ideas, controversial, I guess, ideas about women, etc., and you only take his personality, although I don't think you can really do that with a person, because ideas also make a person, in my opinion. But if you take his ideas out, I want to hug him. It had a lots of complicated words. It is translated. I obviously don't know Japanese. I wish I knew every language of the world that exists and that will exist. Sometimes I wish that was one of my superpowers, because I feel like when a book gets translated, it loses its sparkle. Maybe not completely, but reading something in the original language that it was written in, I think it's so much better. And I'm lucky because I know English, and the world is dominated by English and English countries, English speaking countries, especially like the movie industry is dominated by Hollywood. So I'm lucky because I can watch major movies in the original language without getting distracted by the subtitles. Subtitles can be distracting and complicated, especially because I'm dyslexic. My brain is scrambled, and not by all the Molly I take, but because I'm dyslexic and all my thoughts are mixed. Enjoy the silence. I didn't know how much I loved silence. I cannot hear myself talking this much for this long. My ears are hurting. My throat hurts. My brain feels like it was while loud music was shot into my ears. But I love doing this. I love making videos, and I love talking. I love expressing my opinion. I'm sorry. Nothing is going to stop me from criticizing sexist men.